morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Bourse Report. Well, today we're taking a look, as mentioned, at the banking sector and a very strong first quarter coming out from our local boys or locally domiciled groups, Republic Financial Holdings Limited, as well as First Citizens Group Financial Holdings Limited. Both of those financial groups would have posted improvements in earnings in their first fiscal quarter ended December 2024. Let's take a look at what those companies would have reported, or groups would have reported rather, and what investors might expect in the coming months ahead. Turning firstly to Republic Financial Holdings Limited. Well, the group reported a earnings per share figure of $3.35 for that first quarter of fiscal 2025, which represented an 8.8% increase from the $3.08 reported in the prior comparable period. Driving that performance was an improvement in net interest income of 7.9% in positive from $1.24 billion to $1.338 billion. Operating income overall, which includes other fee-based income, improved 5.9% overall from $1.76 billion to just about $1.868 billion. And with net profit attributable to equity holders, ultimately improving that 8.7% from $503 million to $547 million in the first quarter alone. So very good reading for Republic Financial Holdings Limited investors and shareholders at this particular point in time. When we take a look at that revenue story over the past few comparable periods, we can see that there has been a continuing upward trend. And in this latest completed quarter, of course, as mentioned, that net interest income in that blue segment up 7.9% from 1.24 to 1.338 billion, with other income improving from 524 to 530 million, a more modest just over 1% increase in aggregate, with a 5.8 to 5.9% increase overall in terms of that total operating income. So again, a very positive and consistent upward trend for Republic's income generation over the past few comparable first quarter periods. Now, when we take a look at profit before tax by geographical segment, we see that there were some notable changes. Trinidad and Tobago, the largest segment contributor in terms of geographic segment contributor in terms of profit before tax, decreasing in terms of contribution before eliminations by just about 17% from just over 1.14 billion to 945 million. This was offset by improvements in some of the non-TNT jurisdictions. Of course, Barbados recovering almost 300% improvement in profit before tax from 28 million to 112 million in that blue segment. Guyana, for example, up just about 30% from 84 million to 109 million in profit before tax contribution in that green segment. Eastern Caribbean up over 40% as well, from 61 to 87 million in that pink segment. Cayman Islands a little bit weaker, down just about 12 or 13% from 123 million in the first quarter of 2024 to 106 million in that first quarter of 2025. Of course, including eliminations, intercompany eliminations, there would have been a net increase in profit before tax from 714 million to just about 824 million. So again, still very positive reading for investors in RFHL. Now, when we take a look at the valuation story for Republic from a price to earnings ratio perspective, we can see that that price earnings ratio has been consistently declining. And what that means is for existing and potential investors investing in this stock on a per dollar of earnings generated relative to the price that you pay has become even cheaper over time. Again, and as you can see that on a trailing earnings per share basis from the first quarter of 2021, coming straight forward, that trailing earnings per share has been consistently increasing, not commensurate with price. In fact, the price has gone the other way, which means that, which has led to a much more attractive entry point for investors in RFHL stock at this particular point in time. And how does that stack up? Or RFHL's valuation stack up to the rest of the banking sector? Well, on average, the banking sector is trading at around 10 times in that pink column. RFHL is at around 9 times and offering a very juicy dividend yield of 5%, which is quite comparable to that 4.7% compared to the sector average, and in fact at the higher end of the banking sector dividend yields on offer by the various segment members. Now, again, as mentioned, at that price of $113.60, the dividend yield is quite attractive at 5%, with a very attractive price earnings ratio as well, and a stable outlook with an overweight rating based on RFHL's higher revenue, continued earnings growth, geographical diversification, and those relatively attractive dividends. Now, turning quickly to First Citizens Group Financial Holdings, well, the group would have reported an earnings per share figure of 95 cents per share, 1.1% increase over the 94 cents per share recorded in that prior comparable period of the first quarter of 2024. In driving or impacting that performance was an improvement in net interest income of 2%, up from 512 million to 522.4 million, with total revenues up just about 3% from 675 million to just under 695 or 696 odd million. Overall, those profit after taxes relatively stable, well, with a modest improvement, in fact, 1.2% up from 237 million to 240 million. Now, in terms of a profit before tax by segment, again, before eliminations, retail and corporate banking was, well, in fact, declined from 271.8 million to 264.8. There was also a decline in treasury and investment banking from 153.8 million to 139 million. Only a segment posting before eliminations improvement was, in fact, trustee and asset management segment, up from 13.8 to 14.3 million. Nevertheless, from a valuation perspective, with that modest increase in overall earnings per share, FCG, or First Citizens rather, is trading at that price earnings level of 11.1 times. So again, below historical levels and offering a quite attractive trailing dividend yield of around 5.7%, which is in fact at the top of the banking sector dividend yields in terms of its constituent members. So with that modest revenue growth in mind, improving earnings, and that attractive dividend yield, and of course, the valuations that First Citizens is currently trading at its last price on Friday of $42.03, Bourse is maintaining its overweight rating on First with a stable outlook for the time being. Well, that's it for this week's edition. For more information, you can give us a call at 2BORSE or 226-8773. Email us at info@boursefinancial.com. And of course, you can check out all our research for free on our website at bourseinvestment.com. So until next time, stay safe, enjoy your carnival, and we'll see you again on the Bourse Report.